Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're setting the stage for a total paradigm shift in how we handle two of the absolute most frustrating biological struggles out there. I'm talking about stubborn belly fat and low hormones. Look, if you feel like your energy is just tanking and your midsection is expanding no matter what you do, trust me, you are not alone. But what if the solution isn't about killing yourself doing more, but doing something, well, much smarter? Okay, let's just dive right into this. For years, we've basically been brainwashed to think the only way to get a lean, metabolically optimized physique is through endless, grueling workouts and, absolute starvation. But we're totally challenging that today. What if the real secret to skyrocketing your testosterone and literally melting away that stubborn belly fat isn't happening on the gym floor at all? What if it's actually completely dependent on the specific fuel you consume and a massive biological hack you'd apply right after you put your fork down? We're breaking this explainer down into two main pillars. Let's hit pillar one, the input. This first half of our metabolic masterclass is all about the specific fuel you need to be putting into your body. And you'll notice a really stark contrast between what we've been conditioned to eat and what our bodies actually crave. On one side, you've got your sad, typical gym bro diet, right? Chugging liquid egg whites, aggressively chewing on dry, low-quality farm salmon out of some plastic container. It's miserable, and honestly, it lacks real biological benefits. But look at the other side, the hormone optimization diet. Instead of farmed salmon, we're talking sardines, mackerel, and herring. They're way cheaper, super easy to find, and they're packed with the exact fish oils that studies show lead to absolutely skyrocketing free testosterone. Let's break down a few specific foods by their key nutrients. Take oysters. Yeah, they might look a little like alien food, but they're literally one of the richest sources of zinc on the planet. And zinc does two absolutely crucial things. It helps your body crank out more testosterone, and it blocks the enzyme that tries to convert your testosterone into estrogen. Game changer, right? Then you've got your leafy greens, like spinach and kale. They are just loaded with magnesium, which reduces oxidative stress. And that stress is one of the main culprits that tanks your hormones as you age. Now, this right here brilliantly illustrates why you absolutely do not need to empty your wallet to get results. Just look at this massive spike. This represents fenugreek, which is an incredibly cheap, everyday spice. You know, the supplement industry takes this exact ingredient, slaps some flashy label on it like Test Booster X9000, and charges you an absolute fortune. But the research is crystal clear. Consuming fenugreek is linked to a staggering 98% increase in free testosterone over an 8-week period. It improves your insulin sensitivity, drops inflammation, and regulates your overall hormone health. It's wild. And here's another number you definitely shouldn't ignore. 24%. That is the really impressive testosterone boost observed just from consuming pomegranate juice. But the benefits don't even stop there. Pomegranate juice is absolutely loaded with antioxidants. That means it is in there fighting inflammation in your body while you're just kicking back, relaxing on the couch. It boosts your mood, protects your brain, and it actually gives you useful carbs for recovery, totally unlike those garbage, sugary energy drinks. So, the really crucial takeaway here is this. Stop throwing away the best parts of your food. I mean, for years, guys have been chugging egg whites like it's some magic potion to get jacked. But egg whites basically only have protein. When you toss the yolk, you are throwing away testosterone-building cholesterol, vitamin D, and omega-3s. Your body desperately needs those precise nutrients to actually manufacture hormones. Honestly, unless you're a competitive bodybuilder counting single calories, you should be eating the whole egg. All right, that brings us to the pivot, the visceral fat threat. Look, we have to acknowledge reality here. We all live in the real world, right? We all eat heavy carb loads, big bowls of pasta, or cheat meals from time to time. It happens. But when we do, we introduce the biggest biological threat to our physique, visceral fat. And this isn't just that soft fat right under your skin. No, this is the dangerous internal fat that wraps tightly around your organs and physically pushes your belly forward. See, when you eat a heavy meal, excess blood sugar and insulin flood your resting system. And if you aren't using that energy, your liver basically has no choice but to convert that overflow directly into visceral belly fat. But what if you could stop that process right in its tracks? Welcome to Pillar 2, the 10-minute intercept. Okay, this is the absolute hero concept of our explainer today. It is a super simple, zero-cost habit that intercepts those extra calories before they ever become belly fat. Just look at the stark biological outcomes. When you sit on the couch immediately after eating, your muscles remain completely at rest. The glucose overflows, insulin spikes, and boom, straight to visceral fat storage.
But contrast that with taking just a brief 10-minute walk right after your meal, and the outcome completely reverses. You unlock this incredible fat melting power just by changing what you do immediately after eating.
I love this quote because it perfectly captures the mechanism at play. Your muscles act like a glucose sponge. I really want you to visualize that visceral metaphor. When you start walking, your muscles wake up. They become these active little sponges, literally soaking up the sugar floating around in your bloodstream to use as immediate energy. And they do this long before insulin can sound the alarm and signal your liver to start storing away as fat.
Let's look at exactly how this biological cascade happens step by step. Step 1. Glucose enters your blood right after that heavy meal. Step 2. You start your walk and your muscles activate as a sponge to absorb that glucose. Step 3. Because that glucose is getting cleared out rapidly by your muscles, your body doesn't even have to release a massive amount of insulin. The whole fat-storing insulin spike is completely blunted. And no spike? Well, that means no signal to accumulate belly fat. It's that simple.
Now, you might be thinking, come on, is 10 minutes really enough to make a dent? But the data is completely surprising here. Studies show that taking 3 short, 10-minute post-meal walks controls your blood sugar far better than a single, exhausting 30-minute session earlier in the day. Why? Because visceral fat accumulation is directly tied to repeated high spikes of glucose. By intercepting your meals 3 times a day with a short walk, you are actively blunting those spikes right when they are the most dangerous. Oh, and as a massive bonus, this 10-minute intercept aids in digestion through something called peristalsis. Basically, that's just the natural contraction process that moves food through your digestive tract. Taking a light, leisurely stroll, and I mean a slow stroll, not some sweaty power walk, really stimulates this process. It keeps you from feeling super heavily bloated after a big meal, which means you look and feel leaner almost instantly. So how do we put all of this incredible science together? Let's check out your new daily routine. We're going to synthesize these powerful nutritional inputs with that post-meal interception strategy to give you one highly actionable plan. Here's what a practical day looks like. For breakfast, you're having 3 to 4 whole eggs. Yes, keeping the yolks for that vital testosterone-building cholesterol. For dinner, you're eating nutrient-dense beef and onions to really optimize your testosterone to cortisol ratio. And then the absolutely crucial final step. Immediately following that dinner, you take your 10-minute intercept stroll to act as a sponge and soak up all that excess glucose. Over time, these little 10-minute post-meal walks add up to hundreds of extra calories burned, much steadier energy, and a significantly leaner midsection. It requires zero equipment, and it costs absolutely nothing. So I'm going to leave you with this provocative thought. If just 10 minutes of light movement can literally reprogram your metabolism and intercept belly fat before it even forms, what are you going to do right after your next meal? Lace up those shoes, get walking, and take control of your biology today.